offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. And pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. On 2nd down, it's Bell. Stiff-armed him. And now running right through it. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
To throw here, Roethlisberger. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll go again with Bell. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And incomplete. Almost intercepted. The D lineman almost had it. Couldn't hang on.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. But that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up. This should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Jones. Julio Jones all alone. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 69 yards. And the Falcons have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, That should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Here's Boxer to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. Now Roethlisberger on first down. It's complete to Brown, right side. Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. And he takes it down deep into Atlanta territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 65 yards. 2 minutes from... here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. We're just 2 minutes away from sending you to Orlando for Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report, so don't forget about that coming up shortly.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a halftime without him, and we thank him for doing the highlights. Let's go get a snack.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Here's Roethlisberger. This is caught, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Roethlisberger keeps it, and he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger taking it in. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So it was 2nd and goal, still had a couple of downs to work with. They tried to sneak, and they got in.
I like the idea that they did it early in the down and distance count. 2nd down as opposed to waiting later on. I think it fooled them a little bit, but how about the push they got up front to get the quarterback through?
Big push and a touchdown to boot. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Falcons taking over on offense in just a second, and, you know, this year ended in disappointing fashion now. Last year was the ultimate version of heartbreak, but if you're a Falcon fan, was this one was tough to swallow as well, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because let's be honest about it. Losing in the Super Bowl, I don't care how you lose, you were in the Super Bowl, you were playing for it all. This team was supposed to be as good or better. Ultimately ended up 10-6, found their way in the playoffs, but didn't get the deep run as they had the year before. So you're exactly right. For Falcons fans, that's a tough one, but this is a team that's built to be good for a long time.
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And now Ryan not happy about either their formation or the play call. Whatever the case, he's going to call a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On 3rd down, Ryan. And he's got Sanu. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Ryan to Sanu, good for an Atlanta first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
With no running backs in the backfield. To help pass protect all the receivers in their patterns. These are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. Now he's going to throw deep right side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
And that one results in 35 yards.
The best passing attacks in the NFL often incorporate the guys out of the backfield catching the football. And that's what we just got on that play. As a primary receiver, not always just a check down, not always a safety valve. Sometimes they just get it to them right away because they have the matchup advantage.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back. And now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
Here's Coleman, and he'll be knocked down sideways near the 42. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Connects with Sanu right side. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll run here with Freeman. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap.
And that'll be held in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper from 3 yards out. And the Falcons have broken our tie.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
Just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he's going to take this all the way down inside the 40. That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive. And we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game. Back onto the field now comes the wideout Antonio Brown. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust. And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Not much happening there on 1st down. I thought there might have been a hole for a split. Second. Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Again, it's Bell. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Now Roethlisberger. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Deion Jones in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. And oh no, they spike it here. That was 4th down. So they spike it on 4th down, and they will lose the football. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be for a quarterback to be perfect, because that means the line's blocking really well. No one's dropping any of the passes thrown to them, and the quarterback is accurate. It's almost like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, isn't it? He's the principal guy, but he needs a lot of help.
Time to find out if he can keep that perfect game going here, partner.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Sanu with a grab over the middle, and he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. Give him 30 yards there. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss it.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the fourth. On second down, Ryan. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. Critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
Now Roethlisberger back into his end zone. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Showed off the power, but not much room to run. Brought down at the 5. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Now it's Roethlisberger. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. It got his man complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, 95 yards. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And now a critical extra point attempt here. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead. So you're not playing that way. You've got to go get the lead again. So maybe it...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Bud Dupree. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to Reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
After the interception, here's Ryan. He'll rifle this one. He's got a man complete. That goes for a gain of 31. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Looking to throw on second down. Ryan. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 48. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. I know everyone wants that prototypical wide receiver, you know, the 6'3", 200-plus-pound guy, like a Julio Jones and A.J. Green and Dez Bryant. Antonio Brown just shatters that, doesn't he? Smaller in stature, but still able to use his quickness, his elusiveness, and his strength to create big plays.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more on that one, and another first down. Well, they have had no answer for this connection all night long.
They just have to think in a 2-minute situation, that's got to be a concentration lapse. You know they're going to go back to him with the game that he's been having.
Now it's Roethlisberger. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. Tie game, fourth quarter, and they're going for this thing on fourth down. They'll try and throw for him with Roethlisberger. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. And tough starting field position here. Throwing now is Ryan. And his throw is incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Now Ryan. And that is incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it's third down.
Now they're just trying to do anything possible to try and get the ball downfield and get into field goal range.
And with that clock dwindling, they felt the need to take a pretty big shot there. Unfortunately, couldn't complete it. Here's Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And Freeman lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. A near turnover, but the offense recovers it. Now they'll try to regroup on second. Ryan to throw. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. The 20, 10, 5, and he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They just likely won this thing in regulation.
And that score, in this time frame, that's like a big reveal at the end of a great movie, isn't it? Out of nowhere, almost, it appears, they get it done. How about that score?
Finishes like this is why we love sports. This is why we love the game of football.
So glad that we got to be here to watch this one.
5 plays there on that drive. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. So some drama down to the very end of this ball game, Charles, on that final kickoff. They were hoping to break free.